that continuing to dream big and really find out what it is that you want and that you're looking for is really, really important. And understanding that sometimes some days you want one thing and some days you want another thing. There's no wrong or right way to go about it, but just exploring that so that you can at least tell yourself, I tried it, I did it, I gave it a chance. And that way you are living with no regrets, in my opinion.
Hi, I'm Peter Tanella, Chair of the National Veterinary Law Group at Netherwell & Barrett. I'm joined here today with Dr. Tierra Price. Tierra, thank you for joining me.
Of course, thank you for having me.
So Tierra, in the short time I've known you, you seem to me as a person very driven with a sky's the limit mentality. Is that an accurate description of who you are?
Yes, I would say that. I would say that.
You have accomplished, and I was looking at your bio ahead of us getting together today. You accomplished more in vet school, I think, than some people I know do in a lifetime. And I'm just really, in awe of what you've done, even up into this time, which we're going to get into. But looking back at vet school, as I was looking at your bio, you were the vice president of your class and president of the Women's Veterinary Development Leadership Initiative, correct?
Yes.
All right. And in addition to that, in 2018, you started and founded the BlackDVM Network, correct?
Yep.
Did you have free time at all in vet school?
Honestly, I tell people all the time that BlackDVM Network, all the extracurriculars were a great distraction from studying. So if anyone's wondering, I was not like a straight A student. I was a very average student at school.
So tell us, and in all seriousness, and I think it's awesome what you've accomplished. When we first met, you were telling me about BlackDVM Network. Tell me about that. Why you started it and what exactly that is.
Yeah, so I did my vet school at Virginia Tech, or Virginia Maryland College of Veterinary Medicine in Blacksburg, Virginia. And so I ended up, while in vet school, just realizing that sometimes having imposter syndrome and wondering if I had accidentally gotten into vet school, if I was in the right profession, because I felt so different from my classmates. I felt very different from the people that I was working with, and I experienced a decent amount of discrimination with the clients in the area. And so BlackDVM Network was more of an outreach for myself originally, to find other Black veterinary students, just to know, am I going into a profession that has other people that look like me? And it went from that, an Instagram page, to much more. Now we're an online platform with 150 members, all Black veterinary professionals, veterinarians, technicians, assistants, support staff, hospital managers, etc. And we're really focused on making sure that those veterinary professionals feel like they have a path to success, that nothing is off limits for them. And so I bring a lot of the like you mentioned earlier, sky's the limit mentality.
Right.
And sometimes, it could be looked at as just being naive or dumb, but or just dreamy and, without much realistic expectations. But I just like to talk to people about what could be, especially if that's what they want. And so that's what we do with BlackDVM Network. We help our members come up with plans for success. We offer coaching. We show them the different routes that you can take in veterinary medicine. And then we're just there to hang out and have fun. We're also a very social group.
Which is very important. You got to play hard and you got to work hard.
I believe that.
How do you feel that it's been received? Do you think there was a need for it and there's a growth opportunity there? What do you see the future for that organization?
Yeah, so when I founded the organization in 2018, it was not well received by others in the veterinary field, and not even by my own classmates. I was called into the academic affairs office for having the Instagram page, and it was marked as like racist and discriminatory, and people wanted it taken down.
Really?
And so in 2019 we started our website, but then in 2020 with COVID and as much attention as there was on Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd, BlackDVM Network also received a lot of attention, and we were overexposed in that time period, and there was still mixed views, but we were mostly well received. And since then, we have been well received by everyone in the veterinary profession, and we see a lot of people coming to us and sharing just about the same story about how they feel alienated or left out at their current practice or in vet school, and how this group really does serve as an anchor for them to know that all of these things are possible for them.
And in terms of time, and I want to understand what you're doing now, what you did when you graduated, how much, in terms of allotting your time that you have, how much time do you spend with the organization, and obviously spending, time making a living?
Right, exactly. So BlackDVM Network has grown. We currently have 2 full-time employees, which is really nice for me, because in the first 3 years that we didn't have a team, I was doing everything on my own. And
that was the team. You were the team.
I was the team. I was the team. And it was really hard to run that way, but that's what got us off the ground and got us enough momentum to be able to build a team. Now that we have our team, it's just 3 of us, but there's such an amazing team. There's actually 4 of us, but there's such an amazing team that things pretty much run without me now. I like to pop in and give some visionary comments, and I get to spend most of my time with members and talking to them about what they want and need, and then taking that back to the team and brainstorming how can we provide that for them.
Okay, well, that's good. All right, good. That's good to hear. And upon graduation, you graduated and you moved to LA. Is that correct?
Yes.
So how did that come about?
So I'll start from the beginning, just to clarify anything. But I am originally from Louisville, Kentucky, which is where I am now. So we've made a full spoiler alert. And I did my undergrad at the University of Connecticut, and then I went to Virginia Tech for vet school. And after that, I decided to move to Los Angeles. I have some family out there, and I figured, why not? If I'm going to be working all the time, I should at least be close to a beach and get some sun. And then after Los Angeles, I worked there in spay neuter and community medicine with a large nonprofit. And then after that, I was recruited by the Veterinary Emergency Group, and I moved to New York City to Brooklyn. And so I practiced emergency medicine and lived in Brooklyn for about 6 months. And then I became a travel doctor, and I am still a travel doctor for the Veterinary Emergency Group.
Is there a particular area that you like in terms of veterinary medicine that you enjoy, that you find rewarding?
I think surgery is still my favorite thing, which is nice because you can get that in any area of veterinary medicine. Right now, and I am really enjoying emergency, but I will be moving into general practice here soon. So,
Okay. Now, you've only been out a short period of time, but what advice would you give to a younger self? Looking back and saying, okay, the path that you're taking. If you had advice to give somebody, your younger self, what would you give them if you had any advice to give them?
Yeah, so I mean, I just think continuing to dream big and really find out what it is that you want and that you're looking for is really, really important. And understanding that sometimes some days you want one thing and some days you want another thing. There's no wrong or right way to go about it, but just exploring that so that you can at least tell yourself, I tried it, I did it, I gave it a chance. And that way you are living with no regrets, in my opinion.
Tierra, the first time I met you, and we were joking about it before we hopped on here, you did a presentation in front of, I'd say about 100 100, veterinary professionals, myself included. I was out in Portland, Oregon at the time, and you came on just like you are now on the Zoom screen, and you went through and like a 45-minute presentation like you're an expert, a seasoned veteran, and you're just starting out. I mean, I'm super impressed when I saw you do that, and obviously we've gotten to know each other a lot better since that time. But it seems like, like I said, you have this mentality that and everything's achievable and try everything.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that. And I mean, that talk was about hiring millennials, right? And that was really close to my heart, especially at that time. And it still is. But yeah, that was a really fun presentation. That's probably the only thing that I am clear to talk about is how to be a millennial.
No, I'm sure there's other things, I'm sure. Yeah, and you're right. And that is probably one of the biggest things I think for older professionals like myself. I'm 53. The conversation around millennials and how to talk with them, even in our own organizations, and then talking with clients, veterinary professionals who are, obviously the shortage of veterinarians in general is a big issue, let alone support staff technicians, office managers. Trying to get people to come to work and just get them to work it is a big issue for, I think, every industry, but in particular in veterinary medicine.
For sure.
You mentioned that. So let me ask you. So, are you able to divulge, or what's the future hold for you? What are you looking to do as you go forward? I mean, to the extent you can, tell me, that'd be great.
For sure. Well, I mean, right now I am in the process of purchasing a practice here in the Louisville, Kentucky area. And so I'm really excited to be venturing out into that territory again. Like I said, if you think you want it, you try it, you see if it works or not. And that's kind of where we are here. I really hope it works with all the time and effort that we've put in. But that's the next step, and that's the next move. And I'm really excited to be on this process, on this journey. And I cannot wait until I can share with people what that journey was like, so that it becomes a less intimidating process for others to go through.
Yes, and first of all, I know it's going to be successful. I'm looking at, the shirt that you're wearing, and believe. I mean, that is your mantra, believe. No doubt about it. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you, what your future holds. I want to thank you again for joining me today, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, Peter.